What is going on, sports card fiends? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a USMNT roster breakdown of the October window and what is to come. So we have 3 games coming up in the October cycle: October 7th, 10th, and 13th. If you look down here at this little picture, the first game is home against Jamaica, the last game is home against Costa Rica, and the middle game is on the road against Panama. We can see that Greg Berhalter's named 27 players to this roster, so not necessarily a large roster, but not too small. Last time, I think after our injury, we only had like 24 or so, and Greg did a really bad job at rotating our fullbacks too. So hopefully not as hamstrung as we were in the last window, and I am ready to go on over and take a peek at what we got. I will say I've already accidentally gone to the website and given a peek to the first thing down here, which was Eunice Musa, and that had me excited because I did not expect Eunice Musa. If he plays, I will be so excited because it's been a while. You know, we didn't really see him in the Nations League, and we didn't see him in the last camp because he was injured. So I just didn't know where he'd be or what his status would be for this window, and so that's really exciting to see. So looking on down at this roster, we can see that for goalkeepers, we have Sean Johnson, Zach Steffen, and Matt Turner as the 3. I'd imagine Matt Turner gets most of these starts considering he did in the last window, and he did nothing to say otherwise, so I'd imagine that's the case. The one thing here is Ethan Horvath is not here, so that is kind of surprising, but at the same time, not really. He hasn't been playing for club and barely has played for country. I know he saved that penalty for us and came out as a sub in that game, and it was huge, but you know, that doesn't get you endless call-ups. So beyond that, defenders, we have George Bellow back again. I didn't know if that would be the case, but it seems that it is. I'm not too disappointed in that. I thought he played pretty well in the previous window. John Brooks, of course, are there to man the back line. We got Serginho Dest as well. Mark McKenzie. Shaq Moore, I'm a little bit more curious on Shaq Moore. I thought that Joe Scally probably would have been a better call-up. But is what it is. Tim Ream, probably not going to play too much. Chris Richards, a name that I have been dying to see with the USMNT, so hopefully he gets some good minutes in this window. I'd imagine he starts, but I'm not sure. Anthony Robinson as well, kind of a given, considering he's been manning our left back spot. We have Miles Robinson too, who's been a really good addition and honestly some good depth for us. I don't know if he'll be seen as a starter at this point. It'll be interesting between Chris Richards, Miles Robinson, and John Brooks, who starts, which 2 out of the 3, or maybe if we go 3 at the back, all 3 start. I'm not really sure. And then beyond that, DeAndre Yedlin, which, you know, I think DeAndre Yedlin deserves to be here more than some of the other fullbacks, so I'm perfectly fine with that as well. For the midfield, we have Kellen Acosta, kind of a given. Tyler Adams as well. I thought he might have been injured because there was some stuff about that over the weekend, but apparently he's fine. John Lucabusio is an interesting call-up in the sense that for the Gold Cup, I didn't really rate him that highly, but it seems like Greg does, and from what I understand, he's been doing pretty good in Serie A as well, so glad to see him. Hopefully he gets some time with us in the rotation and can impress. Luca De La Torre, that's a name that a lot of people have been clamoring for since he hasn't really been too much involved, but if you watch how he plays for club, I mean, it seems like exactly what we need, someone that can kind of pick locks in the midfield and really create going forward. We don't have a lot of that, and so that would be nice. Sebastian Lletget, Greg's ultra crutch right there, but at the same time, hasn't done anything to work his way out of the lineup, so I'm not hating in that regard. Just going to be someone we see for a long time to come, I'd imagine. Weston McKennie, Eunice Musa as well. Both, I think, locks, if healthy. I think Eunice Musa is one of the more underrated players. I know, like, the Twitter sphere rates him really highly, but I think the average casual fan probably doesn't yet. And then Christian Roldan. What are you going to do? So, as far as our midfield, I just think if there are some names there that you don't like, it's honestly because we don't have enough depth there, so it is what it is. Beyond that, Brendan Aronson as a forward, Paul Areola as well, which not great, but is what it is. Matthew Hoppe, which is really nice to see. I'm glad that Hoppe can get some shine here. I don't know if he'll play as a striker. I'd imagine more so as a winger, considering the options that we have. Then we have Ricardo Pepi and Tim Weah and Jossie Zardes. So that was interesting. I figured after the windows that Sargent's had with us and kind of his games that he wouldn't be getting called in until he starts to build some form with Norwich. and it seems to be the case, so that makes sense to me. Zardes will be kind of a head scratcher for some people, but at the same time, I really don't think so. I mean, Greg knows him really well, and Greg's going to rely on him if given the opportunity. And between Zardes and P-Folk right now, it's kind of a toss-up, so you can pick whoever you'd like, and I understand Greg going with his default and Zardes. So as far as the forwards, I'm really hoping that Tim Weah can break through with this squad, because I do think he's one of the better players that we haven't seen enough of yet. Beyond that, Brendan Aronson always liable to have a really nice game in attack. Matthew Hoppe as well should be a fun one, and Ricardo Pepi. I mean, the only ones I'm not really excited for are Areola and Zardes. And as far as the roster goes, pretty good. I mean, this is the thing, you know, with the injuries and with these long qualifying cycles, you're not going to always have the same team and the same lineups going into these things. So to be able to have depth that we now do on this team allows us the opportunity to be able to, you know, actually form a more solid lineup going into these types of windows. So that's my take on the USMNT roster. Pretty excited for it going forward. The only question mark for me, honestly, is Greg, because in that last window, we easily could have left with 2 points, and if that's the case, you know, people are just in an utter uproar. And given it isn't the case, I think people are chilling a little bit more now, but I do warn that, you know, getting your hopes up extremely high for something like this window could be dangerous. So just tamper expectations a little bit, and hopefully Greg can, you know, give us something to actually be proud of. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Also, on top of that, anything you'd like to let me know or others know about your thoughts on the roster, we'd love to hear it down below. And if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. But with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day, and peace.